Hey, Amy. Thanks for your email asking for clarification about the kind of uh, feedback you can get from me during the Kitchen Dancer 8-week group program. So the workshops will be a lot about alignment and whole body fluidity and how organizing your body from the ground up and including your nervous system can support all the places that get misaligned or have compensation patterns. But, we need specific care and direction about, old injuries in places that are injured. And you mentioned that you had 2 car accidents, and you said that you have panic in the back of your neck. And that is exactly what I went through for 15 years. It felt like if I moved my neck a certain way, my head would fall off. I knew that it probably wouldn't fall off, but that's what it kind of felt like. If I put my head in a certain place, it was terrifying. So my strategy was to slide my shoulders up and my head forward, and this felt very safe. So it got to the point where I didn't even recognize that I was in this posture. Maybe not this exaggerated, but, it didn't feel safe to bring my head back over my rib cage, over my pelvis. It does now, and I don't have pain in my neck. I can still find the old injury place, but I manage it. And yeah, the nervous system drills have been really helpful for moving me further along the spectrum of feeling less pain and more able to use my body without flaring that area up. So I will probably really over deliver this first time I offer the 8-week Kitchen Dancer program, because I'm building something that I want to be long-term, and I'll probably have a library of videos from past groups so that you can kind of look to see if there's already a video that I created for your specific issue. If not, there'll be Q&As, and you can send me a request and I'll make you a little video. So as I'm marketing this new group, I just wanted to show you a couple of things, whether you decide to join me or not, that can help you with your neck, kind of the things that were most helpful to me. So I'm taking a hand towel and I'm putting it on the bias so that I'm holding on to the oppositional end, so it's kind of has a little bit of springiness to it. This exercise was so important for me because it helped me recognize that my neck could be supported by my side, what I call the bolero jacket. The latissimus dorsi pulls the shoulder blades down, or supports the shoulder blades as they just hang there in space without any effort. The wrap through the serratus anterior, which is this side body muscle, and then the obliques that keep the rib cage connected to the pelvis, the core. So if that is active, toned, and participating with whole body movement, then your head can just float up on top. So a lot of times I say bobblehead or puppet on the top of your head. So here's a way to practice that and also gain strength in the places that have kind of probably turned off because of the way you've been holding your neck, I imagine. All right, so here we go. So it's an upper abdominal curl, which is like a classic Pilates exercise. The only thing is, if you have osteoporosis, and we haven't talked, so I don't know if you do. If you have osteoporosis, it's contraindicated to do this kind of flexion in your spine. So I can show you another way to do this from extension into neutral. But if you don't have osteoporosis, then you can do it like this. So you take the hand towel on the bias, you put it behind the base of your skull. So we're going to try to be in a neutral position. So we're not going to curl the tail up and squeeze the glutes. We're going to try to keep the pelvis kind of anchored. Feel the weight in your heels, feel the weight in your sit bones, feel your heavy rib cage. And what I'm going to do is imagine my shoulders sliding down my back toward my heels. I'm not putting too much effort into it. I'm just trying to not let them go up by my ears. Then I'm going to pull my elbows toward my waistline a little bit and feel that whole underarm connection. And I'm going to keep my head very heavy like a bowling ball, and my head comes up maybe 1/8 of an inch, and then I set it down. So you should really feel this here in your tricep into your side body through your obliques. And if you haven't done this before, it might make you feel really tired. So the idea is to get the towel right on your occipital ridge, which is the bony ridge on the back of your head, not your neck. So your head will naturally kind of nod toward your chest. So once you get comfortable with just that tiny little float, you can sink your rib cage, and without using any muscles in your neck, feel your elbows pull towards your waist and your rib cage drop heavy behind you, and you can get that upper abdominal curl, keeping your head really heavy. So if you're like me and that's really challenging to drop the weight of your head, then that's the practice. Even if you don't get your head very high off the ground, the practice is, can you drop the weight of your head and let your arms and your ribcage support your head? Maybe just for a moment and then put it back down. And if you feel really tired, just start to play with it and build strength. So then the next piece is to take that to the wall. This is my closet door, which I'm going to use. So now the same feeling of putting your pelvis, maybe your knees are bent, feet are out about 1 foot away from the wall. You're going to have the same feeling of supporting your head with your heavy shoulder blades, with that feeling of a hammock. You get that feeling of your head dropping back into gravity. So you're just feeling the weight of the head go back against the wall. And then with both of these positions, you can play with, can you feel it even if you don't have your arms up and you don't have the towel? Can you feel that connection of the lats, the serratus anterior, the obliques holding your head up on top? At first, it'll probably feel weird. Maybe you can't get your head against the wall. I don't think I could at first. Now I can have my rib cage and my head easily against the wall. But for me, that feeling of sliding my ears up behind me, that was really scary for my cervical vertebra. Now, I was actually in the hot tub today because I was thinking about responding to you, getting this big glide back and rounding forward, which I never thought I'd be able to do. And now I realize, because I've slowly and bit by bit changed that so that I can get that kind of range of motion, I recognize that it was just pretty much only tension. And also a little bit of fear. My doctors told me that I would always be in pain. There was nothing they could do for me. After my car accidents, they told me I would always be in pain. They're wrong. I'm not in pain anymore. But there was this feeling that there was something wrong, but it was really, ultimately, after years, it was just tension. So that was my case anyway. And so getting my head to be able to slide way back like that and then round up, and that is new and it feels really good. All right, I hope that helps. Let me know if that made sense, if it's helpful to you. Everybody's body is different. Don't push anything that doesn't feel comfortable. Let it be very small at first and just kind of play with it. And at least it gives you an idea of how I can address your specific question, even if the workshops are more about, once we have those ideas, then we're moving through our day, maybe doing some push-ups on the kitchen counter, maybe moving with some music, with hip glide, and feeling our feet and noticing where our head is on top of our body. So we're thinking whole body, ease, joy, fluidity, freedom. But before that, we peel it back and we talk about the specifics of how to release old patterns with neurodrills, with physical toning exercises. Okay, bye, Amy.